we are doing part 2 Galagos Ruins. Floors 3 and 4. This would be tips and tricks that I do. If you like all my videos and content, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. Tip of the day. For magic order, you can change it at any time. You can actually have nothing on there if you want to make it easier for you. But you can make Galagos any difficulty that you want. You can make it so custom whatever you want to do. You don't have to fill everyone out. The more you know. Alright, so floor 3 to 4 gets a lot harder. You start by bringing your secondary kind of monsters. Bringing 30 monsters to Galagos, really I never use them all. So I say use these monsters that you don't typically are going to use on floor 4. I have a better front line for floor 4, so I'm going to bring Colleen for floor 3. I most likely won't bring Karambit, so I'm just going to use him to burn up some energy. And then Wusa, I'm just bringing him because I don't have any skill ups on him. I don't use Wusa. I plan to, I just don't right now. But it does become a little bit harder. You definitely want to pick your monsters and choose the right ones depending on what element is in this stage. As you see, I kind of went fire heavy, and that's because there is a lot of wind on this stage. Another tip is if you're using natural 5-star units that you don't have skill ups in, if you're just using them to waste energy, put them as your soul link. If they're off of Soul Link, they have very long cooldowns because they don't have any skill ups. At least putting them as a Soul Link, their cooldowns are the same. It's just the strength of the spell isn't as good as it would with skill ups. But floor 3 and above, you definitely don't really want to dilly-dally in these stages anymore like the first 2 floors. Make sure you kill off everything and just keep moving on to the next group of mobs. But they did increase the time limit of Galagos stages, so hopefully that will help because before, time limit was the biggest issue and the biggest hard stop. When you get hard stuck in Galagos, don't keep repeating and wasting energy. Just drop some of the bonuses in magic order. When in doubt, don't waste time, just start making it easier for yourself. Here's an example of what I mean in my other video, where I talk about bringing at least like one assassin, or just one of some class that you don't bring typically. There's a buff here that applies a level 5 endure and attack speed up to itself when it receives lethal damage. This may be an option for you, it is the strongest buff out of the 3. However, this for me personally, a level 3 strength of life, that's 12% damage taken decrease for every 10% HP loss. So I'm taking that from my front line from my Orbia. Now I want to talk about a special mechanic in Galagos that I didn't talk about in the first video. But it's this special magic power right here. It's random every time as well. You don't know what it is until you get into the stage. Elite boss areas always have a magic power and you will see this come up. The magic ability to recover has been seized. Enemies gain drain ability. Here's another one. Enemies are resilient to death while the team member's ability to revive is restricted. So you could see how that could be an issue. But I do want to talk about one monster specifically on these floors, and that is our boy Baramos. Baramos can be an issue to some people if you're not strong enough. What you can do, however, is if you don't put debuffs on him for the best as you can kill him a lot easier. Because if you look at Baramos' skills, the only time he heals is when he removes a harmful effect on his team. If he doesn't have any harmful effects, he won't be able to heal. So for example, my current team, the only one that has debuffs besides Orbia is my Water Werewolf. So I'm just going to go in and make sure that he doesn't use his defense break. I know Orbia has her own built-in defense break, but that's okay. None of her other skills apply a debuff. It's just her defense down passive. When you pick buffs, you always want to think about floor 4. Your best natural 5 stars that you're going to use. You want to survive, do big damage, and you want to do it in a fast way. So picking spells like Gluttony, where a summoner applies level 1 attack up and movement speed up to when you defeat an enemy is really good. You defeat a lot of enemies in GALAGOS. Now here's a predicament that sometimes you get into. It's not sometimes, it's actually pretty often. This is where you get a hero buff, purple rarity, Orbeas and mages freeze the enemy with a 20% chance when attacking with skills, or a rarer blue buff which is lower quality, but it applies level 1 damage dealt up to itself with a 20% chance every time a team member gets attacked, and that's every time. So most people would probably pick the purple because it's a higher rarity buff. However, this is a 20% chance that has a 20-second cooldown and it's only attacking with skills, which your skills get on cooldowns. So in my opinion, Deep Grudge, the lower quality buff, is better. As you see, the damage dealt up buff, it really stacks up really fast too. Watch how fast the stacks go up too, it's crazy. And a level 10 damage dealt up buff is 50% more damage. So that lower quality blue buff was way better than that hero purple buff. Now one thing I do want to point out is when you get to these higher floors, the main thing you want to bring to these floors, a defense break and a debuff cleanser. Those two things alone are huge to you. Alright, third floor, stage 9-1. This is the big bosses for the third floor. But we got Shrekly. We have Rhodes. And we have Arachne. So what we need is cleanse or immunity from poisons. We need a heal block. And we need buff strips. I'm going to use Shushu here to cleanse the dots from Arachne and immunity. The buff stripper and heal block I'm going to use is Lauren. And last but not least, I'm bringing Shannon for a defense buff and attack buff. 4 stars and 3 stars to beat floor 391. Alright, we're going to focus on Arachne first because I don't want to deal with ads. We have a lot of dots from Shrekly and Arachnid, but that's okay. We just make sure to cleanse all of the dots, kill the ads, and get out of red stuff. Get out of red stuff, that's the most important. Don't take unnecessary damage, right? Let's get this Arachne down. Get out of red stuff, please. He's in endure phase, so I'm going to kill Arachne real quick. There we go. Alright, now all we have to deal with is Shrekly and his Orbia. I could probably just switch the wind, right? But I'm just going to kite Shrekly around. He can't do anything. I'm just going to stare at him until his endure falls off. Or you use your beneficial strip monster and kill Shrekly. Now after those two bosses are dead, now a new boss comes up, Mr. Dark Rhodes, which is only for attack speed. That's how he takes damage. But you can also freeze him. Just like all other bosses, they're all different. Some can be frozen, some can be silenced. But with Rhodes, sometimes he can one-shot, and you really gotta pay attention. If you see him doing graphics that you can get out of, just get out of it. But after that first water Rhodes, you got a second water Rhodes. But he's at 5%, 4%, 3%, GG, here we go. And for beating floor 3, I am taking this legend buff for show. I already got this once, so this is level 2, and that's nasty. So I'm taking that. Floor 4, this starts us off with a trap phase. Thanks, Troll to Us, I appreciate that. So trap sectors are easy. I showcased this in my very first GALAGOS video, but it's not hard, it's just so frustrating. Remember that movement speed monster that I told you to put into one of the 30? Well, this is where that monster comes into play. Bring one movement speed monster and also one healer. You don't need cleanses, you don't need immunity because immunity and cleanses can be stripped off and just debuffs can just be applied very quickly. But what you want to do is click on your movement speed monster and make him a soul link, and then you want to dash through. But still, with this nonsense, look how nonsense this is. You can actually waste a lot of energy here if the RNG fails you and you don't do this right. But you want to make sure to save up all your dashes before you go in. And there's certain spots you can sit where you can kind of get a rest like this corner here. But what you want to do is look at the pattern that it goes in. So you want to time it and go when that comes up, and you want to dash through like this. If you dash while in the middle of a gust, it will not knock you back. But if it does hit you, then it'll remove your movement speed buff, which is not good. But we have 14 seconds left to get through this. So we got 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Oh my God. I barely made that. It's just one of the most frustrating stages in the game. Another monster to kind of worry about is Dark Raven. Dark Raven's burst damage and HP destroy can really knock you out really quickly if you're not paying attention. As you see, that Dark Raven destroyed my Bernard's HP a ton. So I actually really want to make sure that I don't go into another battle with this kind of HP destroyed. It does fall off over time. If you didn't know, HP destroy can also go through immunity, which is kind of stupid. But hey, I didn't make the game. There's one room in this stage like this where it is a trouble on floor 4. It's super annoying, and I want you to know about this and get attention to it. So this room right here is an annoyance. There's only one good place to stand, and that's in this left spot over here. So here we go. You just don't want to move from this spot, trust me. Stay here as long as possible. If you need to run out, do so, but don't get hit by flames because then you die. But you can continue once in Galagos. Unfortunately, there may come a time where you gotta start using your better units. When there's less enemies, yeah, you don't need to worry about it too much, but still, just try to stay back. We got 3 minutes to do this last room, and we need to hurry it up. Sometimes you just have to stack a whole bunch of monsters into the same spot too, because otherwise you're not using your skills properly, right? Just try to stack them together so you just do as much damage as you can at all the same time. Make sure to save your ultimates too for when you need them. And we're going to need it here because we only have 1 minute left. So I'm literally going to aggro every single thing because otherwise I'm not going to get this done. Let's bring them all together. Let's get this armor break and get the ultimate out. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom. That should have sped up the process, so I just need to kill these fools in 39 seconds. Whoa, that was a close one. See, we usually go into these dungeons thinking that they're the boss, we gotta beat the boss. Well, guess what? You're the boss coming in the Galagos, and they gotta try to kill you. Remember, when you go into an unknown sector, especially in floor 4, you don't want to waste any energy on monsters. Just go in there by yourself. Then you can add monsters according to what the unknown floor is. In this instance, hey, it doesn't matter, it's actually a stone statue. But I'm telling you, it gets hard. Giggity. I'm not going to tell you that I just breezed through this thing. It also depends on RNG of buffs. And I'm still using my 4-star unit, so now it's about the time where I'm going to start using my best units because I only have 4 stages left. This is a Galagos Ruins 4F91 vault. You would think all the monsters before this protecting this vault, there'd be something valuable in here. Alright, so we got floor 4, the 11th and final stage. Before I start this last stage, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was going to showcase Harp Magicians and Galagos because it's crazy good, but I forgot. They're not going to really benefit me here, but I'm just going to bring them anyway because the last stage doesn't really matter. You just need to bring everything that you need to kill off the enemy. So in my opinion, you just got to make sure you have defense break, an attack buff or a defense buff, a cleanse from harmful effects, and everything else is bonus, but you need some heals too. So I suggest starting with Shrekly first, because you want to make sure that you get rid of all of the damage over times that Shrekly puts on you. So I always start out with my Soul Link monster being a cleanser. And I literally just go around town making sure that I run and not stand in red crap. And I make sure I just keep my guys healed. I have 10 minutes to beat this, right? I'm not too worried about it. But I just want to showcase Darkheart Magician's ultimate. It's an AoE heal and it's crazy good. I just love it. It just goes around with you wherever you go. But we got Shrekly down, and now we're going to focus on Talades. Hot toddies, baby. But I'm going to switch to Orbia or whatever. You switch to whatever summoner gives you a damage over time. And you apply those damage over times. Pretty simple once you do all the mechanics properly. But Light Heart Magician heal and Dark Heart Magician heal, they are both keeping me alive, no problem. Dark Heart Magician has a defense buff and a cleanse. But really, Dark and Light Heart Magician shine the most in all the other normal stages where you were killing monsters non-stop. Their passives come into play, and they become the goddesses of Galagos. So there you have it, complete Galagos Ruins completion. You can reset the season, but you don't get any of the previous rewards from completed stages. The season reset is really for people who might have messed up their energy and their monsters or whatever the case may be, and they're stuck and haven't cleared the full thing. That's it for today's video. I got part 2 out like promised, so you guys can clear it before the season resets. Or at least come close to clearing it, right? But don't forget that I've been playing the game on the NA server for 6 months. So if you're on EU Asia as free to play, you may not have an equivalent account to where I'm at. I also have 6-star runes in North America. So don't get discouraged if you can't clear the whole thing. Your time will come. If you like this video, sub, like, ding ding a bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.